previous video, I was just talking about these really fantastic new OCD groups I've attended, and that I highly recommend both of them, and that I was very pleased to join them recently, and that I'm going to carry on attending because I think they're really good. And anyone out there who's got OCD, I highly recommend joining these groups. They're really good. That's OCD UK and OCD Action. Both are very good. You can try them out and find out what ones work best for you. Everyone's different. Some might find OCD Action better, some might find OCD UK better. They've both got their upsides and downsides, and that depends on each person. But they're both really good in different ways. And in this video, I just want to talk a little bit about OCD and the experience around OCD, because I've been having some thoughts recently, some kind of brainwaves around OCD, so I just want to talk about that. So what I've been thinking is that OCD is in some ways analogous to having an overactive immune system, okay? So you could think almost that OCD is a little bit like, so some people, so everyone's got an immune system, okay? And in an ideal situation, the immune system will respond appropriately to threats. So if it's exposed to a virus or bacteria, the immune system should, to protect you, mount a response, okay? You might not get sick, it might completely destroy the virus, bacteria before it even makes you sick, or you might start to get symptoms because that's the immune system like mounting a response to the fact you've been infected. But then, crucially, the immune system should then go back down to baseline. It will go up, it will respond to the threat in an appropriate manner, you might feel a little bit rough for a while, then the immune system will go back to baseline, infection cleared. That's a healthy immune system, okay? You want an immune system that responds appropriately to a threat in a not too powerful way, because that could literally be lethal. You know, people can actually die from having an overactive immune system, like too powerful. That can actually mean the immune system actually ends up killing you. Not the virus or bacteria, but the actual immune system can kill you. In those situations, like I can't say a word, cytokine, that's the word, isn't it? Cytokine, so I pronounce it, storm, that's what it's called. But likewise, you don't want an immune system that's too subdued, because then the virus or bacteria could kill you. And you might not even have any symptoms, and the virus and the bacteria could still kill you because the immune system's just not responding the way it should. So you want an immune system that's in that kind of healthy middle ground. It mounts a response, it's not too aggressive, it does a good job, you might feel sick, and then it goes back to baseline. That's a healthy immune system. And you don't get sick too often. If you're getting sick all the time, that would suggest maybe you don't have a very healthy immune system as well. But everyone gets sick now and again. Even people with the healthiest immune systems will now again get sick. That's normal, that's fine. That's a good immune system that responds when it should, goes back down to baseline. So I was kind of comparing, so obviously like an analogy is when the immune system responds to something that isn't a threat. Like gluten is it's harmless, it's just a protein. It's a protein found in wheat and other cereals, it's harmless. But if the immune system misidentifies gluten as a threat, as something that it needs to respond to as a foreign body in the same way that it might respond to a virus or a bacteria, then that's not good. The immune system's malfunctioning. Likewise, things like autoimmune disorders, when the immune system starts to attack the body, it sees the body as it misidentifies the body as something foreign, and that's not a good immune system. Like, you don't want an immune system to do that. That's abnormal. Allergies might be quite common, but they're still abnormal because it's not desirable. It's not how the immune system should respond in normal situation. So I was thinking that you could draw an analogy between the brain and a malfunctioning immune system in terms of OCD. That anxiety is normal. Just like getting sick now and again is normal. Just like you want an immune system to respond in an appropriate way to a threat and to mount a response, go back to baseline. Anxiety is normal in certain situations, certain contexts. Like when you cross the road, when you're about to cross the road and a car is coming at you really fast, you reflexively step back from the curb, because if you didn't, you'd be a goner. You want to have that reflex there. That is a very powerful, very instinctive stepping back. And that is a survival mechanism. That's an evolutionary survival mechanism that's kind of hardwired into our brains. We need to feel anxious at times. That is normal. Everyone feels anxious at times. Just like everyone's immune system will make you sick. You'll get sick now and again. That's normal. But when the brain is overreactive, like having a too powerful immune system, then that person's going to basically respond to everything. Everything. Things will start to seem like a threat that aren't a threat. A bit like, say, your analogy was the immune system responding to gluten and seeing it as a threat when it isn't. Or there might be a genuine threat, something that is a threat and does require some anxiety. Like COVID should make you feel a bit anxious actually. But if that's making you feel extremely anxious in a kind of too powerful sense, then that's abnormal, because then you might some anxiety to COVID is adaptive and healthy, and you don't want to get COVID, so actually maybe you should feel a bit anxious. And some people aren't actually feeling anxious enough over COVID, which you could arguably say is equivalent to having an underactive immune system. But you should feel a bit anxious to COVID. But to have like pathological constant anxiety over COVID and to respond to it like being housebound like I am, that is the equivalent to having an overreactive immune system, and that is abnormal. That I just was thinking of that as an analogy. And actually, I think that analogy holds quite well, because there's a lot of evidence to show that the brain is almost an extension of the immune system. That the brain and the immune system are actually very closely linked as well. And that the brain, in some ways, is like the body's first line of defence to threat before the immune system needs to get involved. So actually, the brain and the immune system are just like the brain is very closely connected to the gut, but the brain is also actually very closely linked to the immune system as well. It's like the body's first line of defence. So that actually holds quite well, I think, as an analogy. I would say that's also why OCD is so hard to overcome, because you're responding to a stimulus. You're basically responding to a stimulus as someone might do with a car coming towards them that might kill them, and then you step back. Well, if you're getting that reaction to like everyday things, no wonder it's hard to kind of have mind over matter. It's all very well saying mind over matter, but someone who's stepping out into the road with a car coming to them and they say, just walk, well, that car's going to run them over. Mind over matter isn't really going to apply. They don't want to get killed. And that would be a healthy adaptive response to step back. But if you're having that same response in a situation where that response is not required, and it's unconscious, and you could do F all about it, that's very difficult. And the only way to really try and overcome it is to use your logical brain to tone down that response, to try and bring it down. But we can use our logical brains to some extent, but that's the reason why OCD is so, to say there is no threat here, to kind of self-talk your way, and that can bring it down, that reflexive response. But it is so difficult, and I think that's why OCD is actually so hard to overcome, because you're getting these really powerful messages. It's like a malfunctioning car alarm. It's basically evolution's survival mechanism gone too powerful. It's a too powerful brain. A too powerful brain is not good, and neither is a too powerful immune system. So ironically, you could say OCD is my superpower, but it's not an autism capacity. Well, you could say, actually autism itself could be seen as a too powerful brain in a different way, and I think actually some science has kind of shown that as well, so I'm not just saying that. But it is a superpower. I'm being ironic, by the way. I'm using this ironically. It's a superpower. But a superpower is not always a good thing. You don't want something that's too powerful. Too powerful can result in a fire. You don't want something that's too powerful, that's too intense, that's too hot. You want things to be level. You want things to be balanced. It's the golden mean. Okay, that's just my random thoughts on OCD. So thank you for watching.